can't kill my vibe, kill the mood. I'm on no lure by my side. Nobody can change my prophecy. I like the way I'm feeling now.
This is the Netherlands, the land of Limburg Fly, the land of Bosbolle, the land of Frietjes, Frikandel, the land of the Dutch, basically. Hi guys, as usual, I am that African skincare Gertrude Darko, and I welcome you back to Vlogmas Day 2. Today I'm going to talk about Christmas traditions in the Netherlands. So for those that know, I've been living in the Netherlands for almost 4.5 years now. Before I even go into this, let me just paint this picture in your head, right? So for those that lived in Ghana before, or I don't know where you lived, but probably during Christmas there are lights around, there's snow, there is gifts under the Christmas tree, you set up a Christmas tree, you go around eating by your family and friends, you go skating, ice skating, or whatever. That is the kind of impression, or that's the kind of picture that was painted in my head as a child when I lived in Ghana. And I used to watch Christmas movies like Home Alone, and so this was the type of Christmas I so longed for. And so the day my mom told me that, oh, you are going to the Netherlands to live with your father, I was also really excited because I was living with my friends. But at the back of my head I was like, I'm going to experience this snowy Christmas, this type of snowy Christmas for the very first time. I was really excited. To be honest, I was disappointed. Yes, my first Christmas was very disappointing, my second, my third, and I think with the fourth one I'm used to it. Okay, so let me tell you about how Christmas is being celebrated in the Netherlands. So during December we have this thing called Santa Claus, and from my point of view, I feel like Santa Claus is it's a nice thing. It keeps the children happy. So there's this story that says Santa Claus comes for all. Wait, let me not confuse it, because here Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas is being called Guestman, and yeah, Santa Claus is actually Santa Claus, if it makes sense. I don't know how to make it make sense, but if you get it, they refer to Santa Claus for the Christmas, whatever you call it, as the cursed man, that is like Christmas man. And they refer to their Santa Claus as Father Christmas, which is basically the same thing, except I don't know. Anyway, so there's this story that goes like Santa Claus comes from Spain in a boat. He comes to the Netherlands and he comes to give good children toffees and toys, and he takes bad children along with him. And that's the same ideology with Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas. He comes, he brings presents, he goes down the chimney and he delivers presents for the children, or he sends his elves. And I mean, if you watch lots of Christmas cartoons, you know what I'm talking about, right? And we all have that impression, and it's all great. It's a very nice tradition, thinking of it. But, and I said but, there is one little detail about it that makes it racist. The helpers. Yes, we all know that Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas has elves as helpers, but Santa Claus, he has black slaves as helpers. People have been fighting for over a decade to scrape off this gruesome, I don't know, image, because it's very diminishing and very it is very dehumanizing for black people. This blackface, it looks just like me. It looks just like any other black person with curly hair like mine, or even loose curls. They have big lips. Even in the past they used to wear big earrings, and they have this Caribbean accent. And we've been in discussions with native Dutch people for a very long time to scrape away this Zwarte Piet, and they feel like we are taking a lot from them, and if we can't deal with it, we have to move out because it's tradition. And I feel like, yes, tradition will be forever traditions, but if people are able to amend their traditions to make the world comfortable, why can't you do it? Right? For example, in Africa or from Ghana, I learned that people used to practice female genital mutilation, scarring, and whatever. It was also tradition for us to be able to identify this person, like, oh, this person is from this tribe, or this girl is this. Probably it has some secret meaning for them. But we've gone around it. Although I'm not going to say everybody still doesn't practice this or whatever, because people still practice certain traditions, culture, whatever, even though it's a cake. But it's become few, right? And that is what we are trying to fight for here. We are not asking Dutch people to do away with their Santa Claus celebration. No, that would be very bad. We only ask them to abolish the Zwarte Piet thing because it has a racist background. It comes from a time where there was slavery, and if you ask me from my perspective, I would understand perfectly as a black slave trying to gain your freedom and not trying to die. If you were asked by your master to act for his children, or to play for his children, or to act a fool for his children, you will probably do it because you don't want to end up being hanged. You don't want to be shot. You just want to avoid that gruesome death. So obviously, if you are asked to play the fool, you would. And when slavery was abolished, white people still continued practicing blackface. Basically, and Zwarte Piet is basically blackface, which is not acceptable, which is dehumanizing for black people, which is very, very inappropriate and racist. But the Dutch explanation for this blackface thing is that these people, the black slaves who played Zwarte Piet by then, were free slaves who chose to willingly play Zwarte Piet for Santa Claus as a way of saying thank you. And I'm like, I don't think so. If you're supposed to travel back in time, I'm sure the situation was going to be more of either you serve me or I send you back to your master. I mean, if you want to survive, you will do anything and everything possible to survive. And I feel like now that we are trying to promote equality and oneness, unity and equity, I think we have to do away with this, because the Dutch or the Netherlands is not becoming for Dutch only, because obviously Dutch people are marrying other religions, other tribes, other race, other ethnicities and whatnot. And so we are trying to build this kind of, I don't know how to put it, but we're trying to build this kind of community-ish something. And obviously you can't live in a community where you feel less of a person, or everything that is done is to mock you, some kind of mockery. Honestly, this is mockery, because this blackface thing is being done by white people in black faces, with curly hair that are wigs, with big red lips, depicting black people, and it is bad. It comes from a place of racism, and Dutch people don't see it as racist. They feel like it's a children's party or children's festival or whatever, and so we should keep it as such. And I feel like if you want to call it a children's party or whatever, it should be free for every child. But if children go to this place and they feel like, oh, this person looks like me and is acting foolish, what are you trying to teach a black child? That the child is foolish, or you are black so you can't do enough, or white is better? That is a kind of vibes I get from this Zwarte Piet thing. And it wouldn't have been a problem if it just ended there. I personally have been called Zwarte Piet by children during this festive time, and I found it really offensive. And I feel like people are so defensive about it which is funny, is mostly the adults, because from a survey, children don't really care about who or what gives them candies or toys. It's candies and toys. Hello, I'm a child. They are going to enjoy their candies, they are going to take their toys. So scraping this away wouldn't necessarily be a big deal for the children, but the adults are pushing it because they feel like it's tradition, one, and two, they don't want to be noticed by their children or their neighbors' children when playing Fort Pete or Pete, which is irreasonable and irrational. And so they came up with a solution to lighten up the black face. And black people still have a problem with it, black people living in the Netherlands. This Zwarte Piet's face looks like a nigger, and if you translate what a nigger or a nigger is, it means a black slave. And so it all transcends to mocking black people for being slaves of white people. And you tell us we are living in a land of freedom and peace and justice. Make it make sense. There's no justice here, and protesters are being beaten, yes, by policemen for being against blackface. And so this is how we celebrate Christmas in the Netherlands. We do not actually celebrate Christmas. We put out the lightning, we decorate the streets, but nothing goes on. It's just, we celebrate the Zwarte Piet on 5th or 6th December, throughout November to 6th or 5th December, and yeah, Christmas is just like any other day, because they feel like Christmas is more of a Christian something, the day Jesus was born, and so they want none of it. And you'll be asking, but Dutch people are really religious and they are Catholics. Well, for your info, their churches are now for just tourism and display purposes. Not so many people go to church. I mean, the old folks do go to church. People don't really have meaning, or yeah, they don't have meaning for Christmas, and so Christmas is just like any other day. Maybe the decorations out in town will make a difference, but it's just any regular day for them. But Zwarte Piet and Santa Claus is our Christmas. And I have nothing against Santa Claus. My problem is Zwarte Piet. And so if you see this video today, I hope you will share it and you will help us to do away with this Zwarte Piet thing. The UN has tried to intervene, but the Dutch people just laughed it off, and it's not being taken serious, and protesters are being beaten. And so this Christmas, as you celebrate this Christmas, remember that it should be Christmas for everyone and for all. And so you share this video and let people know about blackface, so that the world can hear that we need to put a stop to blackface and stop mocking black people, because we are just as strong, as wise, as smart, and as fast as everybody else in this world. We are all equal, we are all human, and I stand for humanity, and I believe humanity is seeing everybody as equal and loving everybody equally. This is my Christmas message to you all. Be safe this Christmas. It's going to be hectic, it's going to be fun, but be responsible, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Before I go, always remember to be you, do you, live life, enjoy the finest things in life, love God, and aim for space. And I would definitely most definitely see you on my next video. Bye.